Thank you very much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and welcome to Pointless. This is the quiz show where all the questions have been asked to 100 people before the show, and all our contestants have to do is come up with the answers those 100 people couldn't think of. Let's meet today's players. And first up, we welcome Peter and Laura. How do you two know each other, Peter?
This is Laura, my daughter. We're father and daughter, obviously, who's been taking money off me for the last 31 years.
Is this fair, Laura?
Well, I only think it's right as an only daughter.
Yeah, yes.
To use that to my advantage.
Yeah, completely. Completely. It would have been remiss, I think, had you not taken advantage
Earn
of
my
this.
own money? I don't think so.
Dear me, no. Now, Laura, what do you hope is going to come up? You've seen Pointless. What would be the dream Laura category?
I think American politics would be great for both me and Dad. So
very good.
Peter, sorry. So I think we'd
no,
do...
let's call you Dad.
Dad, good.
I'm going to call you Dad.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
OK.
So I think we'd both do very well. So that's the goal.
Dad, anything you'd like to add to that?
History and geography, I think, would be reasonable.
Very strong.
And some sport would be fair comment.
Excellent. Well, a very warm welcome to the pair of you. It's lovely to have you on the show. And next, we welcome back Martine and Jess. You were on the show last time. Everyone gets 2 chances, of course, to reach the Pointless final. This is your second chance. Remind us how you know each other, Martine.
Jessica's my daughter.
All about daughters today.
Yeah.
Jess, what happened last time?
We went out over philosophy.
But it seemed to be very tough, that one. No one particularly happy there. Presumably Pointless holds no fear for you today.
No.
It's just you can just look forward to the fun of it. And
We
what
don't
will
want
that...
American politics, though.
OK. OK. What would be really good fun for you, Jess?
Any animated films or cartoons. Like, I'm really into, like, comic books and that sort of thing, like X-Men. Any cartoons would be good.
Martine, anything you particularly like?
Sport, obviously.
Well, we discovered last time you're a personal trainer.
Quite good at anatomy as well, obviously, from my job. I need to...
Of course. Yeah, you know all your muscle groups.
Yeah.
Oh, very important.
So we'll be good on that.
Very important. Well, it's lovely having you back on the show, Martine and Jess. Round 2 last time. I think at least the head-to-head today, don't you think?
Yeah.
We're going for the trophy.
Quite right. All the way to the final. Best of luck. And next, we welcome Rihanna and Chris B. Now, how do you two know each other?
We're flatmates. We met at university in September when we started.
And where at university, Rihanna?
We're at Nottingham Trent.
What are you studying, Rihanna?
We're both doing law.
Both
First year
doing
as well.
law. Rihanna, what would you like to see come up, obviously apart from law?
My mum's a science teacher, so I know a little bit about science, but not that much. Friends episodes, I think, maybe.
OK, Chris B, any areas you're hoping we don't cover?
Ooh, film, politics, music, business, yeah.
Fair enough. Very good. Well, it's great to have you on the show, guys. Very warm welcome to you. And finally, we've got Chris L and Matt. Now, how do you two know each other?
Yeah, we used to work together. For about 10 years we worked together until I got made redundant quite recently, so just enjoying my gardening leave at the moment.
Right, you are. And what was that, Chris?
We worked in IT for a bank.
And you're still there, are you?
I am still there, yeah. I've lost my right-hand man.
Oh, no. Terrible.
Yeah, I've got to do some work now.
Oh, dear. It's all down to you now. What do you like to get up to when you're not doing that, Chris?
Cycling. Quite like a bit of cycling.
And by cycling, I mean, when people say cycling, I guess you do that quite seriously, do
well,
you? Something tells me.
2 years ago, I did the John O'Groats to Land's End for charity.
Wow.
Which was 1,000 miles in 10 days.
10 days?
Yeah.
You've got to have a very comfortable saddle for that, haven't you?
The undercarriage can get a bit tender.
Yeah. Oh, OK. Well, very best of luck, Chris and Matt. Great to have you here. We'll find out more about all of you throughout the show as it goes along. There's only one person left for me to introduce. The man making general knowledge less general. It's my pointless friend, Richard.
Hiya. Hello. Afternoon to you.
And to you.
Got 3 new pairs today.
Yeah.
We've only got 1 returning pair, haven't we, Martine and Jess? We didn't see a huge amount of them last time.
No.
So it's a very open field. And a very open field in a show with a very big jackpot as well.
Yes.
Creeping up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. I wouldn't mind winning that.
No.
Round 1's one of those ones, it's got a little bit of everything in it. Something for everyone in round 1.
Look forward to that very much indeed. OK, well, all our questions on Pointless have been put to 100 people before the show. In order to get to the final round and be in with a chance of winning the jackpot, our contestants need to find the obscure answers our 100 people didn't get. The fewer of the 100 people who got the answer, the fewer points they'll score. Now, what everyone's trying to do, of course, is to find a pointless answer. This is an answer that none of our 100 people could think of. And each time that happens, we add £250 to the jackpot. Nobody won the jackpot last time, so we add another £1,000 to that. So today's jackpot kicks off at £11,000. Right, if everyone's ready, let's play Pointless. Now, in this first round, each of you must give me one answer, and you cannot confer with your partner. Whichever pair has the highest score at the end of the round will be eliminated, so try and make sure that's not you. OK, our first category today is famous people. Famous people. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, the question concerns famous Liverpudlians. Famous Liverpudlians. Richard.
That's right. On each pass, we're going to give you descriptions of 7 famous people who were born in Liverpool or in the surrounding area. You just have to tell us who they are, please. As always, an incorrect answer, though, will score you 100 points. It's going to be 14 in all for you to have a go at home. Very best of luck.
Thanks very much. OK, now then, Laura and Peter, you all drew lots before the show, and today you are going first. So here's our first board of 7 famous Liverpudlians, and we have got the lead guitarist with the Beatles, played Samantha in Sex and the City. The MP, famous for the salmonella scandal, completed a 290-mile triathlon for 2012 Sport Relief, played Rigsby in Rising Damp, appointed chief conductor of the Berlin Philharmonic in 2002, moved from Everton to Manchester United in 2004. I'll read all those again. Lead guitarist with the Beatles, played Samantha in Sex and the City. The MP, famous for the salmonella scandal, completed a 290-mile triathlon for the 2012 Sport Relief, played Rigsby in Rising Damp, appointed chief conductor of the Berlin Philharmonic in 2002, moved from Everton to Manchester United in 2004. OK, so there are 7 famous Liverpudlians. And as always, you're going to try and find the one you think the fewest of our 100 people knew. Now then, Laura.
I know a couple. I'm going to have a bit of a punt, which I might get shouted at for later, but I'm going to go for it.
Dad's not going to do that. Or are you meaning Richard?
Either. I might shout at myself, probably, more than anyone else. So I'm going to have a punt and say Simon Rattle is the conductor of the Berlin Philharmonic.
Simon Rattle, says Laura. Simon Rattle, the conductor of the Berlin Philharmonic. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said it. It's a brilliant answer, Laura. Absolutely right. Look at that, 4. 4.
That's a great way to start the show, Laura. Very well done. Moved to Berlin from the City of Birmingham Symphony Orchestra. Sir Simon Rattle.
Sir Simon Rattle, indeed. Now then, Jess. So remember, we are looking for the names of these famous Liverpudlians.
I know a few, but I'm going to go for a safe one, and I'm going to say John Bishop for completed the Sport Relief in 2012.
John Bishop, you are naming, completed the 290-mile triathlon for Sport Relief 2012. John Bishop, is it right? How many people said it? Absolutely right. Nine. Another great answer there, Jess. 9 for John Bishop.
Yeah, another low score, another good answer. Yeah, he cycled 185 miles through France, then he rode 26 miles across the English Channel, then he ran 3 marathons, ending up in Trafalgar Square. I think if I'd done that, I'd want more than 9 points.
Chris B.
Yes. I know one of those, but it's just been taken. So we're struggling a bit. I think I might have to punt for the lead guitarist with the Beatles and say John Lennon.
John Lennon, says Chris B. And then instantly regrets it.
Yeah.
John Lennon. OK, well, let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. John Lennon. Bad luck. I'm afraid that's an incorrect answer, which means you score the maximum of 100 points. I'm sorry, Chris.
He was a guitarist, a rhythm guitarist, and he was in the Beatles. That is confirmed, but yeah, not lead guitarist. I'll give you the correct answer at the end of the pass.
Now then, Matt, you're the last person to have this board, so you can talk us through it all if you like.
I can try. I think I've had too much time to look at it. I've started to doubt myself, but the Beatles one's George Harrison. If I had to guess at the Sex and the City one, I think it might be Kim Cattrall, because I just think she was born in Britain for some reason. The MP is Edwina Currie. Rigsby, I would guess at Leonard Rossiter, and Wayne Rooney's the last one. But I think I'm going to go with Edwina Currie for the MP.
Edwina Currie, the MP famous for the salmonella scandal. Is it right? How many people knew that answer? Edwina Currie. $56. 56. It's quite high, isn't it?
Yes, it is a very big score, isn't it? And it's one of those interesting situations, Matt, where you took us perfectly through the board. You knew every single one, so it's just a question of which was going to score lowest. And you chose the worst possible answer you could have done. Let's go through the scores you would have got for the others, because you were absolutely right. Played Rigsby was Leonard Rossiter. That would have scored you 51. Moved from Everton to Man U, that was Wayne Rooney. That would have scored you 22. The lead guitarist with the Beatles, he's quite right, Chris, it was George Harrison, of course, rather than John Lennon, would have scored 17. I think a lot of people, like Chris, would have said John Lennon. Some people think Paul McCartney. I think you think of Lennon and McCartney when you think of the Beatles.
I suppose, yeah.
To be fair to people. And played Samantha in Sex and the City. Your instinct was right, it was Kim Cattrall, and that would have scored 15. So of the ones left, that's the one you should have gone for. So Simon Rattle, best answer on that board.
Thank you very much indeed. Richard, well, we're halfway through the round. Let's take a look at the scores as they stand. Laura and Peter. How well did she do, Dad?
Very well.
There we are, 4 points. Simon Rattle, great answer.
I want some more money for that.
A really, really good punt, worth taking. Then Martine and Jess, lovely total of 9, looking very strong indeed. Then up to 56, where we find Matt and Chris L. And then up to 100, where we find Chris and Rihanna. So, Rihanna, we need a brilliant answer from you on the next pass. We've got to hope that's enough to save you. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, let's put 7 more Liverpudlians on the board, and here they are. We have got... Played Hilda Ogden for 23 years, became the Beatles' manager in 1962, had a 1965 UK #1 with Tears, 1970s WBC light heavyweight champion, 1991 World Snooker champion, presenter of Surprise Surprise, 1984 to 2001, and the BBC Director General, 1992 to 2000. I'll read those all one last time. Played Hilda Ogden for 23 years, became the Beatles' manager in 1962, had a 1965 UK #1 with Tears, 1970s WBC light heavyweight champion, 1991 World Snooker champion, presenter of Surprise Surprise, 1984 to 2001, and the BBC Director General, 1992 to 2000. So, Chris L., it comes to you, and you're going to try and find the most obscure one on the board you can. The high scorers are Rihanna and Chris B on 100. You're on 56, so 43 or less will see you through to the next round.
I think I'm going to play it relatively safe and go with the 1991 World Snooker champion, John Parrott.
John Parrott, says Chris L. John Parrott. You get below that red line, you are through to the next round. Let's see if John Parrott's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. You've done it, very well done. 12. Great score, it takes your total up to 68. John Parrott.
Yeah, well played, Chris, good answer. I bumped into John Parrott the other day. He watches the show, it says he sits down and watches the show with all his family.
This one?
Nice, isn't it? Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's nice, isn't it? So you could say hi to them.
That's nice, he's an answer.
That is nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
And also, he didn't, like, score 1 point or something.
Exactly,
So that's quite
12.
nice.
Respectable.
Anyway, hi to the Parrots.
Yeah. Now then, Rihanna, you are the high scorers on 100. So what we need from you right now is a really, really low score from this board.
Well, I literally don't really know any of them apart from one, so I'll have to be safe and say presenter of Surprise Surprise was Cilla Black.
Cilla Black. Cilla Black, says Rihanna. Let's see if she was the presenter of Surprise Surprise. And if she was, how many people said her? Absolutely right. 58. That takes your total up to an unbeatable 158, Rihanna.
Yes, born Priscilla Maria Veronica White, Cilla Black. It's a big score, isn't it?
Now then, Martine. Martine, great news. You're through to round 2. Again. You've made round 2. Doesn't matter what you score, you're still through. You won't overtake Rihanna and Chris B's high score of 158. But, though, I bet you know a good answer on that board.
I'm going to go for played Hilda Ogden for 23 years, and I'm going Jean Alexander.
Jean Alexander. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. Absolutely right. $18 takes your total up to 27.
Another very good answer. Yes, she went on to Last of the Summer Wine after Corrie as well, Jean Alexander.
Now then, Peter, Dad, you are through to the next round, whatever happens. You're the last person to have this board, so why not take us through it and fill in all the gaps?
Beatles manager, I think, is Brian Epstein. I'm not sure who sang Tears. John Conte, the light heavyweight champion. And possibly John Burt for BBC Director General. So I'll go John Conte, 1970s WBC light heavyweight champion.
Very good. John Conte, says Peter. John Conte. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. No red line for you, you're already through. Absolutely right. $7. A brilliant answer. Takes your total up to 11. You're barely into double figures. Fantastic score there.
Well played, Peter. I used to love John Conte. I really did. He went on to a singing and acting career as well. I'm going to go on record and say this is going to be a good show. There's some good answers coming out.
Yeah.
And once again, you've taken us through most of the board there, actually, because you're absolutely right about John Burt. That's the answer to the bottom one. It's the best answer on the board as well. 1 point if you said John Burt, BBC Director General. The Beatles manager, absolutely, Brian Epstein, would have scored 35. Now, had a UK #1 with Tears, much better known as a comedian.
Ken Dodd.
Ken Dodd is exactly the right answer, yep. Would have scored 26 points. Very well done to anyone who got all 14 of those.
Thanks very much, Richard. So at the end of the first round, our losing pair with the highest score, I'm sorry, Chris B and Rihanna. It's you, George Harrison. But you weren't alone.
Well, actually, I was gutted because I thought it was Paul McCartney and then I said it. So
oh, really?
So it was probably a bit... I didn't... well, yeah.
Well, the great news is, Chris and Rihanna, you're going to be back next time. We'll look forward to that very much indeed. There'll be no more famous Liverpudlians in that round. Anyway, we'll look forward to seeing you back then. Meanwhile, thanks very much for playing, Chris and Rihanna. But for the remaining 3 pairs, it's now time for round 2. Well, sadly, at the end of this round, we will have to say goodbye to another pair. But for now, everything is to play for. Our category for round 2 today is British actors. British actors. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Rowan Atkinson films as they could. Rowan Atkinson films. Richard.
We're looking for any feature film made for cinema release for which Rowan Atkinson has received an acting credit up to May 2012, please. No short films or TV films or filmed stage performances like The Secret Policeman's Ball, but voice performances do count. So any film for which Rowan Atkinson has received an acting credit. Very best of luck.
Thanks very much, Richard. So, Laura.
The only one that I think might be low scoring, hopefully, is 4 Weddings and a Funeral.
4 Weddings and a Funeral. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said 4 Weddings and a Funeral. It's right. $14.
Yeah, 4 Weddings. He plays Father Gerald in Wedding 2. He fluffs all of his lines. He asks the groom if he will take the bride to be his awful wedded wife, for example.
The Holy Goat.
Yeah.
Seem to remember.
Lost out on Best Screenplay to Pulp Fiction at the Oscars.
Now then, Jess. Rowan Atkinson films.
I can only remember the name of one, and it's really obvious, but I'm going to have to go for it, and that's Mr. Bean.
Mr. Bean, says Jess. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said Mr. Bean. 79. 79. Well, 21 better than 100. Richard.
Big score, isn't it? It's actually released in the UK as Bean, but in the rest of the world, or bits of the world, Mr. Bean.
OK, now then, Chris L. Oh, look at the face. There's a man I think is...
Don't know many Rowan Atkinson films, got to admit.
I
Like
thought-
him,
yeah.
I know his films. I think he was in a James Bond takeoff called Johnny English. So that's my answer, Johnny English.
Johnny English. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said it. Johnny English. Right. Another high score there, 66. 66 for Johnny English.
Yeah, from 2003. It's a big score, isn't it? It's a very well-known film, Johnny
Yeah.
English. Didn't seem to make that much splash at the time. Ben Miller is in it, isn't he?
Yes.
Oh, I like him.
He's good, isn't he? He's good.
Because you guys work together a little less these days. No, a bit less.
Yeah, well...
Yeah. And his career seems to have gone... like a skyrocket.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? It's amazing.
Yeah, I know.
Because I like the stuff you do. You know that. I've seen your show. The, oh, God. You know the show you do.
Yeah.
The, you know the show I'm talking about. With the sketches and all that, and Ben does the airman and all that.
Yeah.
See, I like that. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
But since he sort of does that less, he's just some of the stuff he does is amazing.
Yeah.
What a guy.
OK, we're halfway through the round. Let's take a look at the scores as they stand. Laura, look at that. It once again, the Laura-Dad partnership doing absolutely fantastically lovely low score of 14 there. Then we travel quite substantially up to 66, where we find Chris L and Matt, and then up a little bit to 79, where we find Jess and Martine. So Matt and Martine, it's between the pair of you, I would suggest, to see who's going to be staying and who will be leaving us at the end of the round. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, so we're looking for Rowan Atkinson films. And obviously, Matt, as ever, you're going to try and find the one you think the fewest of our 100 people could name.
Yeah, I am. I was going to say this before Chris gave his answer, and I'm still going to say it, which is the second Johnny English film. It's called Johnny English Reborn, I think.
Johnny English Reborn. There is your red line. If you get below that red line, you are through to the next round. Let's see how many people said Johnny English Reborn. 20. Not bad at all. Very shrewd move. That takes your total up to 86.
Yeah, not a bad answer. Going to make Martine's answer very interesting indeed. From 2011, Johnny English Reborn.
Very good. Now then, Martine, the high scorers are now Matt and Chris on 86. You're on 79. You need to score 6 or less to avoid becoming the high scorers. Do you like Rowan Atkinson?
He's not too bad.
Have you seen lots of his films?
I've seen a few. I've got a few in mind, but I'm trying to think of one that's going to be more obscure than the others. But I'm going to go with The Lion King.
The Lion King. Oh, that's a good answer. If it's right, obviously. The Lion King, says Martine. OK, there is your red line, Martine. If you can get below that red line with The Lion King, you are through to the next round. Let's see if The Lion King is right. And if it is, let's see how many people said it. It's right. Oi! 8! 8 for The Lion King. That takes your total up to 87. By 1 point, you are now the high scorers. Richard.
Such a good answer, isn't it? He's the voice of Zazu, the hornbill bird in The Lion King. But yeah, just 1 point too many.
Now then, Dad. You're on 14. The high scorers are Martine and Jess on 87. You've got a whacking margin of 72. 72 or less will see you through to the head-to-head.
Well, I'm afraid films is not anywhere near a strong suit for me. I don't know any Rowan Atkinson films, to be honest with you. I'm just going to say Mr. Bean Goes to Town.
There is your red line. We have to hope Mr. Bean Goes to Town is miraculously correct and gets you below that red line. That will see you into the head-to-head. Mr. Bean Goes to Town, is it right? How many people said it? Bad luck, Peter. I'm afraid that's an incorrect answer, as you probably guessed. That scores you the maximum of 100 points, takes your total up to an unbeatable 114. Richard.
Oh, Dad. You were right to think of a Mr. Bean follow-up, actually, but the Mr. Bean follow-up was Mr. Bean's Holiday. There is an episode of the TV series actually called Mr. Bean Goes to Town, though. Not a crazy idea. It's a very good wrong answer, if you know what I mean. Yeah. And a lot of the big answers have been taken. Actually, Mr. Bean's Holiday was the next biggest answer, which hadn't been taken. Love Actually was there, Scooby-Doo was there, Rat Race. Let's take a look at the pointless answers. There's only 2 of them. He's in Hot Shots Part 2, the follow-up to Hot Shots. He's also in Never Say Never Again, the unofficial Bond film with Sean Connery. Some of the low scorers, The Tall Guy scored 1, The Witches scored 1, Maybe Baby, that would have scored 3, Keeping Mum 4. So well done if you said one of those low scorers.
Thanks very much, Richard. So at the end of round 2, the losing pair with the highest score, it's Dad and Laura. And a dazzling first round we had from you, and a dazzling first pass in the second round. And I was just thinking maybe you would have a brilliant, brilliant answer there, Dad.
I should have followed Love Actually from 4 Weddings and a Funeral. I should have took the hint there and gone with Love Actually.
Yeah. Peter and Laura, I'm really sorry we have to say goodbye to you, but we will see you again next time when I have absolutely no doubt we'll see a great deal more of you. But meanwhile, thanks very much for playing. Great contestants. But for the remaining 2 pairs, things are about to get even more exciting now as we enter the head-to-head. Now, congratulations, Martin and Jess. Chris and Matt, you are now only 1 round away from the final and a chance to play for that jackpot, which currently stands at £11,000. OK, you're now going to go head-to-head, and the first pair to win 2 questions will be playing for that jackpot. The great news is you are now allowed to confer, so you play as 2 teams. Now, Martin and Jess, did you in a million years think you were going to end up here?
No.
You must have suddenly thought, oh, hey, when Peter said, I don't know anyone.
I thought... Result.
And Chris and Matt, very solid performance from you. Very solid performance, haven't put a foot wrong. But, of course, now it all changes, because you can confer, so you can combine all your areas of expertise. This is going to be very exciting. Let's play head-to-head. OK, here comes your first question, and it concerns ruins. Ruins, Richard.
Yeah, we're going to show you 5 images of ruins. Can you tell us in which modern-day country are these ruins situated, please?
OK, thanks very much, Richard. Let's reveal our 5 pictures of ruins, and here they are. We have got A, B, C, D, and E. There we are. 5 ruins. And we need to know which country they are in, which modern-day country. Now, Martin and Jess, you played best throughout the show so far, so you get to go first.
We don't know any of them.
We're going to take a guess.
We know where some of the films were set that are in some of them, the names of some films, but we don't know the names of the ruins, so we're going to guess.
And we're going to guess E as in Greece.
You're going to say E, Greece.
Yeah.
E, Greece, say Martin and Jess. Now then, Chris and Matt.
We're going to go with B as Jordan.
B, Jordan. So we have E, Greece, and B, Jordan. Martin and Jess have said that E is Greece. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said it. It's right. 55. 55. Now, Chris and Matt, you have said Jordan for B. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said B was Jordan. It's right. Will it go lower than 55? Yes, it will. Wow, 14. That's a great answer, Chris and Matt. That means that after 1 question, you are up 1-0. Richard.
We'll play Chris and Matt. Those, of course, are the ruins at Petra, famously used in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. And Greece there, that's the Acropolis in Athens. A, do you know A at all?
India?
It's not, it's Angkor Wat in Cambodia. And that would have scored 6 points. C is Chichen Itza. Chichen Itza. In Mexico, which would have scored 36 points. And D is a pointless answer. It's Leptis Magna, which is an ancient trading centre, and you find it in Libya. Pointless answer. Very well done if you said that at home.
So here comes your second question. Now then, Martine and Jess, you have to win this one to stay in the game. Best of luck. Here it comes. It concerns the Da Vinci Code. The Da Vinci Code, Richard.
Yeah, we're going to give you 5 clues to people, places or things relating to Dan Brown's novel, The Da Vinci Code. Which of the answers is the most obscure?
Thanks very much, Richard. OK, let's reveal our 5 clues to facts about the Da Vinci Code, and here they are. We have got a clue leads Langdon to whose tomb at Westminster Abbey. Langdon is a professor at this US university. The sought-after item often believed to be a chalice used by Jesus. The museum where Jacksonière is found dead. The director of the film adaptation starring Tom Hanks. I'll read those one last time. A clue leads Langdon to whose tomb at Westminster Abbey. Langdon is a professor at this US university. The sought-after item often believed to be a chalice used by Jesus. The museum where Jacksonière is found dead. The director of the film adaptation starring Tom Hanks. There we are, 5 clues to facts about the Da Vinci Code. Chris and Matt, you go first.
We're struggling. We're not really a big Da Vinci Code people. What? Just think, should we go for the museum?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
We're going to plump for the museum being the Louvre.
The Louvre, the museum where Jacksonière is found dead. Now then, Martine and Jess, you can talk us through the rest of the board if you like.
I can't remember a lot of them. I've only ever seen the film, I've never read the book. So we're going to go for the sought-after item, often believed to be a chalice used by Jesus, as the Holy Grail.
The Holy Grail. So we have the Louvre versus the Holy Grail. Martine and Jess, this is the one you have to win to stay in the game. Chris and Matt, you've said the Louvre. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 said the Louvre. Absolutely right. 27. Not bad. 27 for the Louvre. Martine and Jess, that's what you have to beat to stay in the game. You've gone with the Holy Grail. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said the Holy Grail. Where's right? Will it go down as far as 27? 40. All of which means, after only 2 questions, Chris and Matt, you are through to the final 2-0. Very well done, Richard.
Yeah, the biggest 2 answers on the board, though, actually, those 2. So well done at home to anyone who said any of the others. The director of the film adaptation, do you know that? He's directed Tom Hanks in lots of different things. Apollo 13,
it's Ron Howard.
Splash, Ron Howard, absolutely. Would have scored you 7 points. The professor at which US university? You're guessing. It's
Harvard.
It is Harvard, yeah, it is Harvard. 6 points. And a clue leads Langdon to whose tomb at Westminster Abbey?
I can't remember whose tomb it is.
Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton would have scored you 3 points, so very well done if you said that at home.
So the losing pair at the end of the head-to-head, I'm afraid, is Martine and Jess. I tell you what, you did brilliantly, though. 2 categories that you didn't really know that much on. And you had a bit of a guess, really, at both.
Yeah.
And 2 pretty good answers. You know, not bad scores at all. But sadly, I'm afraid this is the end of the road. This is where we have to say goodbye. But it's been great having you on the show. Thanks so much for playing. Martine and Jess. But for Chris and Matt, it's now time for our pointless final. Now, congratulations, Chris and Matt. You have fought off all the competition and you have won our coveted pointless trophy. You now have a chance to win our pointless jackpot. And at the end of today's show, the jackpot stands at £11,000. Well, you've made it all look very easy. Nice low scores in the first 2 rounds, and then a clean sweep in the head-to-head. In fact, they were quite tough, the head-to-head. Did you know much about ruins or the Da Vinci Code?
Not the Da Vinci Code.
No.
Unfortunately for us, Matt is going to Jordan on holiday.
Well, the rules are very simple. to win that money, all you have to do is find a pointless answer. We haven't had any pointless answers on the show today. You only have to find one now, and you will leave here with £11,000. Firstly, you've got to choose a category. You have a choice of 5 options. Good luck. They are international diplomacy, modern English fiction, actresses, soul divas, European football.
Well, I know which one I'd pick, Matt.
I think I'll pick the same one as you, yeah.
I think we're going to go for European football.
Yeah.
OK, European football it is. OK, let's find out what the question is. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many managers of Barcelona as they could. Managers of Barcelona. Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for the name of anyone who's held the post of manager or caretaker manager of FC Barcelona from 1970 through to the beginning of May 2012, please.
OK, you now have up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers. And all you need to win that £11,000 is for just one of those answers to be pointless. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's put 60 seconds on the clock. There they are. Your time starts now.
Bobby Robson, Terry Venables, Johan Cruyff, Pep Guardiola,
Frank Rijkaard.
Frank Rijkaard.
First 2 are good. First 2 are better than the others.
I think Radi Antic.
Yeah?
I seem to remember him being in sort of temporary charge for a short space of time. I might be wrong.
Well, yeah.
Radi Antic as a gamble.
I wouldn't go with Cruyff, wouldn't go with Rijkaard, I wouldn't go with Guardiola, so the other 3. If you've got any more.
Bobby Robson.
They're brilliant, I think.
I've been to Camp Nou. Well,
So
you have.
I've been with you.
He was there. I went round the museum as well. Radi Antic is sort of
Sounds all right to me.
Um,
I can't really think of it. I can only be guessing.
Don't really get rid of managers, do they? Not often.
Venables was the manager when Lineker was there, wasn't he?
Yeah.
10 seconds left.
Venables, Robson and Antic. Yeah.
Antic being last.
OK.
Yeah.
Yep.
You think you've got your 3?
Hope so.
Maybe not going to pointless, but...
OK, well, your time is up. We were looking for managers of Barcelona. I now need your 3 answers. They are...
Terry Venables.
Terry Venables.
Bobby Robson.
Bobby Robson.
And Radi Antic.
Radi Antic. Which of those thinks your best shot at a pointless?
Definitely Radi Antic.
Antic, we'll put him last.
Yeah.
And least likely?
Robson?
Yeah, Robson.
Bobby Robson will pop in first then, OK. OK, let's pop those up on the board, and here they are. We have got Bobby Robson, Terry Venables, and Radi Antic. There they are. OK, so we were looking for managers of Barcelona. Bobby Robson was your first answer. You thought your least confident shot at a pointless answer. Now remember, you only have to find one pointless answer to win that £11,000 jackpot. Chris, what would you do with 11 grand?
Holiday, definitely. Definitely holiday. Maybe even Australia. I've been to Australia for a short period. Would love to go back for longer. So, definitely.
OK, Matt, how about you?
Probably something similar, really. A decent holiday, or get me out of work for a bit longer.
Yeah.
Maybe put it towards a new kitchen, a bit boring, but one of
OK,
those.
very good. Well, very, very best of luck with your answers. Let's hope one of them wins it for you. OK, let's see how many people said Bobby Robson. It has to be right, it has to be pointless for you to win that jackpot of £11,000. Bobby Robson. It's right. And down it goes. If this goes all the way down to 0, obviously you will be leaving here with £11,000 immediately. Down it goes into single figures. 8. 8. So unfortunately not a pointless answer. You weren't expecting that to be pointless anyway, though. No. 8
Surprised.
kind of reassuring, actually. Quite low.
I think the next one will be about the same, though.
Yeah.
OK, well, only 2 more chances to win today's jackpot. Your next answer was Terry Venables. We're looking for managers of Barcelona. Let's hope nobody said Terry Venables. If this is pointless, you leave here with £11,000. Terry Venables. How many people said it? Well, it's right. Bobby Robson took us down to 8. How far down is Terry Venables going to take us? Down it goes. Still going down into single figures. Down it... Oh, 6! This is good. This is all going in the right direction. So you only have one more chance to win today's jackpot of £11,000. Now, you reckon if this is right, it'll go all the way down?
He's
Oh, it's our best shot. It's our best shot. I do actually think he was manager of maybe Atletico Madrid, or I'm confusing him with something else, but we'll see.
We will. We'll see. We're looking for managers of
We've got a
Barcelona.
pointless trophy, haven't we? Which is
trophy.
craved, so...
Your third and final answer is Radi Antic. This was your most confident answer, your best shot you thought at a pointless. It has to be pointless for you to win that jackpot for £11,000. How many people said Radi Antic? It's right. This is right. OK, so we went down to 8 with Bobby Robson. We went down to 6 with Terry Venables. Down it goes, continuing down. Down it goes. Yes, you got it! You got it! Very, very well done. That's superb. That's a great answer there. Oh, fantastic. Very, very well done. Congratulations. Radi Antic was a pointless answer, which means you go home with our jackpot of £11,000.
Brilliantly played, guys. You obviously know your football. There are 3 names on the pointless list I thought you might come up with. I was delighted when I heard you say Radi Antic. Best known, of course, played in the English leagues for quite a while. Radi Antic for Luton, amongst others. Absolutely right. Let's take a look at the rest of the pointless answers. I know you don't care. There's a couple of ones you'll know. A couple you'll know on the second page, I think. On the first page, Carlos Rexach, who was manager 4 times. Helenio Herrera, the magician. Joachim Riffé. On this next page, there'll be a couple you recognise. Laurence Ferrer, then Luis Aragonés was a pointless answer. Yeah. Rinus Michels was also a pointless answer, was manager there twice in the 70s. There's Radi Antic, Udo Lattek, and the Englishman Vic Buckingham, who was manager there from 69 to 71. Also, Cesar Luis Menotti would have been a pointless answer. Very, very well played. Well done if you've got any of those pointless answers at home, but no 11 grand for you, I'm sorry.
Well, thanks once again to our winning players, Chris and Matt, who go away with today's jackpot of £11,000. Brilliant. Join us next time when we'll be putting more obscure knowledge to the test on pointless. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Bye-bye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.